I got the impression that that there were more dimensions to this than just like, oh yeah, all of the vibranium is in one spot. The movie doesn't like seriously clarify this exactly, but I feel like that was the point, right? Is that like, oh yeah, they found one vibranium store, but like we don't want them to find all the other ones. But I call this out because this is a genuine nitpick. I mean, it's possible that the filmmakers literally didn't think about that, and that would be a mistake. But like, holy shit, man, this criticism was preceded by 7.5 minutes of just like complete bullshit. And yeah, you heard that right. We're only about 7.5 minutes in, so I think I'm gonna call it here. The video doesn't like become fantastic after this, you know, like as far as I'm aware, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't end with a scene of him saying, just kidding, all of that was a joke, actually the movie was okay, or anything of that sort. So yeah, we'll call the criticism there, and I hope you sort of see what I mean. I feel the need as like a hypothetical sociologist to clarify that this isn't like all of the evidence you need to conclude that anti-wokeness ruins media criticism, but like I hope you understand what I'm getting at, right? That the perspective that people like The Critical Drinker have when they go into movies is like mind-numbingly silly. And that.
So I run across this video of this guy who had a lot to say about The Critical Drinker. The Critical Drinker. You get what I'm saying? And I like The Critical Drinker. You get what I'm saying? He make good video essays and stuff like that, and he give an honest critique of the movie. You get me? We know what modern movies are like nowadays. The women are powerful, the men are weak, and it shows in pretty much everything they done. You take a strong male character and you make him weak as shit so you can elevate a fucking female character, you know, because the gay agenda and stuff like that.
And yet, there it is, repeated again and again, like it's some badge of honour instead of the dunce's cap of shittiness. The message is always the same, like everyone's saying it is part of some weird collective hive mind, capable only of repeating the same basic concepts and phrases. The world is changing. People are different now, and they don't like the things they used to like. They don't want escapism and innocent, joyful entertainment for its own sake. They want stories and characters that reflect the world we live in today. They don't want thoughtful and balanced explorations of complex ideas. They want to be told exactly how to think on every issue, and always from one particular point of view. Because clearly we all hold the same opinions about everything. They don't want men that are strong, capable and assertive, or women that are feminine, compassionate and protective. They want their characters deconstructed, conflicted and homogenized. They don't want historical accuracy. They want modern values, cultural norms and metropolitan diversity superimposed onto times and places where it makes no logical sense. Because the past doesn't matter, you see. The past is full of ists and phobes and dangerous ideas that we have to carefully shield you from in case you start thinking for yourself too much and form opinions that we don't like. All that matters is what we tell you.
You get what I'm saying? So in this video, this guy wants to talk about The Critical Drinker because he talked about Wakanda 2. You get what I'm saying? Black Panther 2. You get me? It sucked. It was a stupid ass movie. You get what I'm saying? It was dumb, it was weak, it was woke.
You can hate him as the villain of this movie, but calling him forgettable feels like you just wanted to hate it.
The movie opens with Shuri working frantically in her lab in Wakanda. Her brother T'Challa is dying from an unknown illness, and the only thing that can save him is the magical bullshit herb that first turned him into Black Panther. It's a well-written, perfectly directed, and brilliantly acted scene that hits like a ton of bricks. And for a brief moment, it raised my hopes that this film was about to defy my expectations and give me something genuinely awesome. Then I saw the rest of it.
Alright, so he opens by complimenting the film's introductory scenes, which seem to be the scenes that, like, it's acceptable for everybody to like. So, what I imagine happened, and even if he denies this, you know I'm right, is he was sitting in the theater, right? The trailers are going, and he's just fuming, right? He's vibrating with anger, right? He's about to watch the new woke Black Panther movie, and then the first scene opens, and it's pretty good. And he's enjoying it, and for a second, that anger melts away as he just gets engrossed into the plot of this film. He's enjoying it. It's emotionally resonant. He's actually affected by the events on screen. And then the first white guy comes on screen and somehow isn't the center of attention, and he just loses it. And all of that anger just comes flooding back, and he spends the rest of the film with smoke pouring out of his ears, grinding his teeth. Now, you might think that characterization is a bit unfair. What, you think his problem was that there was a white guy in the movie who wasn't immediately the hero? Well, I'll let you decide.
Skip forward a year or so, and all is not well in the kingdom of Wakanda. Queen Ramonda attends a meeting at the UN to lay the smackdown on some toxic white males. Because, of course, what other demographic could they possibly be?
Yeah. The thing he's mad about is that the antagonists in the UN scene were white people. I have to assume that this is how, like, anti-SJWs think that we watch movies, that, like, we're in there, like, analyzing the race and gender of every single character in every scene, looking for something to be angry about. But, like, when woke people criticize the race politics of a film, they usually have historical examples to draw on, specific tropes that they're fulfilling, you know, a long-standing history of oppression, yada yada yada. But apparently the real problem with this scene is that a black woman was mad at a white guy.
Shut the fuck up! No! Oh shit! Say it again! Say something else!
The point is, there's a very clear double standard in the MCU now, and it's slanted very clearly in one direction. Men in general, and white men in particular, have basically been relegated to the lowest tier of the Marvel hierarchy now. Match them up against any other demographic, either in a battle, a test of intellect, or a simple argument, and I can pretty much guarantee they'll come off worse. Every single time.
Yeah, I said it.
And what's really awesome here is when Marvel literally contradict themselves in their own universe. Falcon and the Winter Soldier made a huge deal out of American reluctance to share much needed resources with people who need it most, while Wakanda gets to do the exact same thing and nobody bats an eyelash. Wanda gets to mentally and physically torture an entire town of innocent civilians and be praised for eventually letting them go, while the man who tried to stop her is apparently the villain of the piece. The antagonist from Black Widow is shown to be a morally reprehensible monster who enslaves women into becoming mindless killing machines, but his willing accomplice is treated as a goofy, likeable hero by virtue of her being female. Again and again, the MCU ends up tying itself in moral and dramatic knots trying to appeal to whatever the current socio-political trend is, or adhere to the increasingly nonsensical rules of social justice and identity politics. And without wanting to be too blunt about it, well, pretty much everyone wishes they would just fuck right off with this stuff.
I don't think I can emphasize enough how ridiculous this reading of the scene is. The fact that the character who's being addressed as a white person literally isn't brought up in any way, shape, or form. And as far as I remember, they're a representative of the UN from France, a vast majority white country.
This man has no dick.
So it is not ridiculous that they would have a white representative at the UN. I'll take completely normal and unremarkable things for 500, Alex.
I swear, oh my God, the way his arm is folded like a little girl, he hugs himself. You get what I'm saying? Woke. You get me? Any man that bashes men for women, woke. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just saying. You get me? Look, modern movies have always had a lesson in them. Today's movie don't have no lesson. Critical Junker says that in his video. You get what I'm saying? He says that. So I'm sitting there listening to his video. He going off. You get me? In his womanly way. You get me? I'm not even gonna lie. I told you I don't listen to men who don't put bass in their voice and who don't have any like masculine features at all. This guy look like Dylan Mulvaney or somebody. You get what I'm saying? The white guy, the first white guy comes on the screen and somehow isn't the center of attention, and he just loses it. You should have warned us this would be a woke criticism. Thanks for reaffirming what the critical drinker hates about modern media content and pushes his fans to keep going back for more of his content. You only woke us to what a reference he is. You get me? And then the guy gets in the comment, by making a joke, do you need a safe space? Okay, bro, you are the one who needs a fucking safe space. Look at you hugging your fucking self. You hug yourself while you on video. Yes, a safe space from bombardment of unsubstantiated motives, such as the suggestion I quoted of you above. Then when you start seeing some substance in his critique, you stop the video, almost as if to avoid having a balance. That's typical of woke narrative, which if it's not clear by now, I absolute hate. Let me see how criticizing modern media for its laziness and disrespect towards the industry and its fans, instead of just consuming product and waiting for next product, is actually a bad thing. In my very, very humble opinion. And then the guy jumps in the comment again like, yeah, no, I am a big fan of film criticism. Did you watch my BP2 review? I was pretty annoyed at it. But if your criticisms are shit, then you're helping no one. Good. For all the people here who think that the wise critical drunkard is throwing his words randomly, watch his series of videos why modern movies suck. He explains in extreme detail why he say what he says. And then he jumps in the comments again. Yeah, they're not very good. Okay, then the guy comes back and says, maybe for you, but I like them because they made me like old movies even more. For example, I recently watched an amazing show. It's called Firefly. It's amazing. I'm sure you watched it. So in this show, you have this character. Her name is River Tam, and she is badass, yet she hides her powers because she realized how others could react to her powers. She only used them when absolutely necessary, mostly to protect her brother. You never see this in modern age feminine characters. Now, literally, all the characters are about absolute power. Female characters remind me of Kryptos from God of War games in the old games. He was nothing but a killing machine. Okay. He jumps back in the comments. After that, he says, you're picking a singular example out and haven't explained why the current trend is bad. Why do women have to hide their powers to be good? Men in movies have been like that for forever. Just as you mentioned with crypto, it's a trend. This stuff changes constantly. It's not a woke issue. And with that, I'm leaving. Once you, as a man, start bashing men, that right there tells me all I need to know about you and your masculinity. No wonder you talking about the critical drinker. You fucking weak. Anyway,
that's all I've got for today. Go away now.